Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jo and I do all things fitness, lifestyle, vlogs, bit of this and a bit of that. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 20 tips for someone who is traveling to Bali for the first time. I've recently been to Bali. I've got a few videos on my channel about my experiences. I have a full long vlog, the longest vlog I've ever made. Very detailed. I've also reviewed the villas and accommodations that we stayed in, and today I thought I would just give you guys just some tips as, you know, a seasoned traveler that I am. So let's get into it, shall we? Number one, best time to travel to Bali is between May and September. That period of time is dry. The rainy season is typically from October to April, and generally outside of that the weather's pretty decent. We went on the 4th of May until the 15th of May. So we were cutting it a bit close because the rainy season ends in April and no one can know for sure that it's going to end on April 30th, but it was okay. It rained on 2 days we were there, but generally it was fine. Number two, do not drink the water. And I repeat, do not drink the water in Bali that comes out the tap. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You will have E. coli. Do not drink the water. Even the locals don't drink the water. If you're gonna get water, make sure that it's bottled water. Ice is a bit hit and miss. I had ice in my drinks and I was fine. I don't know what the infrastructure of your stomach is like, but I would really highly recommend you don't drink water. Even when you're brushing your teeth, I would always brush my teeth with the bottled water that was provided in the hotel. It is not safe for drinking. Do yourself a favor and stay away from it. Number three is to pack Imodium. There is such a thing as Bali belly, okay? I was perfectly fine. It's here, not so much. So pack some Imodium to be on the safe side. Number four, pack EU pins. The 2-prong pins, that's what they use in Bali. In a few of the accommodations that we stayed in, they were generous and they had the foresight enough to have one of those multi-function pins, so no matter where in the world you came from, it would accept your pins. But otherwise, it's fine, it's their country, they don't have to accommodate you. The right plug to take is a 2-pronged pin thing that they use in Europe. Number five, although this did not really apply to me, take tampons because apparently they're very expensive to buy out there. Sunscreen is also expensive to buy, and surprisingly mosquito spray. So this is something that I had seen on other people's TikToks. Luckily I was not in need of tampons and I already had sunscreen with me, but take your tampons, take your sunscreen and buy your mosquito spray before you get to Bali. Number six applies to my black girls and everyone else really, but black girls who don't want to get their hair wet in the shower. Take a shower cap, dears. A lot of the showers in Bali are overhead, kind of like, are they called waterfall showers? The ones that are like that. Your hair will get wet. Your hair will absolutely get wet, so pack a shower cap. Cash machines in Bali operate slightly different to the ones in the UK and other places that I've been to around the world, in that they give you your cash before your card. So remember to wait for your card once you've got your cash. Do not walk away. Do not walk away. The cash is not as valuable as the cash in the card, so yeah, wait for your card. For most passport holders, you will have visa on arrival in Indonesia. It costs $25, come with cash, they do not accept cards, so bear that in mind. It's 30 days, I just did it when we arrived. Ignore all these websites that tell you to do it online. I remember I tried to do it on some Indonesian website thing. I don't even know if it was legit, and it was charging 100 and something. And I knew that this was wrong because I'd watched so many TikToks of people saying visa on arrival, visa on arrival, visa on arrival. But I just thought to beat the queues and for convenience sake, I would just try and do it in advance. Don't do it. Wait till you get to the airport. Make sure you've got your cash. They take dollars and as well as, of course, taking their rupiah. I paid in rupiah. It's the equivalent of $25. The queue is long. I can't lie, but it's fast moving. It's very fast moving. There's loads of desks. So save yourself the hassle. Just take the cash and pay when you get there. Number 9 is to get a SIM card. I considered roaming my phone and then I called up my telephone provider and they were quoting some big money, so I was like, yeah, no thanks. So the best thing to do is just to get a SIM card when you get there. They're fairly cheap. The one I got was about £10, and that gave me 30 gigs worth of data, and it's meant to last the whole month. Obviously, I was only there for about 9, 10, 11 days, so I didn't run out of the data. The only thing I will say is that the process is slightly longer than you would experience in other countries, because they crack down on any kind of fraud. So they will take your passport details, they will like hook you up to the server and all of this stuff. You can't just get a SIM card willy-nilly in Indonesia. They will practically ask you for your blood group. They are very strict on SIM cards and stuff like that. So just bear that in mind. Get a SIM card while you're out there. It's really cheap, but make sure you have your passport with you when you go to get one. Number 10, I would advise you get a driver. Now, I was really battling whether or not I wanted to get a driver, but in the end I got one. He came recommended to me by one of my friends who had just visited Bali the week before coincidentally, and he was great. He was really good. If anybody is looking for a driver in Bali, drop me a DM on Instagram and I will share his details with you. The reason I say to get a driver is that it just makes life easier. And also, rolling into point number 11, a lot of the times these drivers double as tour operators, so they will know the hotspots. You just tell them, you know what, I want to go to the waterfalls, I want to go hiking, I want to do this, I want to do that. And a lot of the time they are part of organizations that they earn a commission off, as well as obviously your booking, and so they already know the hotspots, they already know a lot of these providers. If you say I want to go to a Bali swing, my driver knew like 4. He was like, we can go here, we can go here, we can, and they will have pictures and they will have brochures. He actually had a physical laminated brochure in his car of different things that you can do. So if you are like me and you've done all your planning up front, great. Otherwise, you can just ask your driver for the best places to go for this, that and the other, and he will hook you up. Point number 12, I would highly recommend that you download these 2 apps, Gojek and Grab. They are basically like Uber and Uber Eats. So on Grab, you can get food deliveries, you can get drinks to you, you can get taxis, you can rent scooters and things like that. It's all in one place. I didn't download Gojek because I already had Grab, but both of them work really well. Be mindful though that there are some parts of Bali that do not want Gojek drivers coming into their area, and they will have signs outside that says no Grab, no Gojek, just support local drivers. So just be mindful. Another point is to book a taxi before you arrive. Whether you want to get Grab, Gojek, have a private driver, whatever you choose to do, your first journey, make sure you book in advance. And I say this because the Ngururai Denpasar airport is very overwhelming. You come outside, the doors open at the arrivals bit, and it's just a litany of people saying, do you want a driver? 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 And it can be really overwhelming, especially if you've come off a long flight, you've been in a long queue for your visa, you've waited a long time for your bags. All you want to do is get out and get to your hotel, and you've got so many different faces and they've got signboards and they're all trying to approach you. It can be quite off-putting. So book a driver from the airport to your accommodation, and then you can decide whether or not you want to hang on to that driver or if you want to do your own thing. Number 14, there's traffic. There's a lot of traffic in Bali, especially around that like Ubud. I mean, to be honest, I can only talk about what I've experienced, but the heaviest traffic was around Ubud and Canggu. It was wild. Especially Ubud takes the crown. Ubud traffic is like Lagos traffic. And the reason for this is that if you look at the map of Bali, for the most part, especially around Ubud, it's jungle, and they have built roads to go kind of around. So sometimes you just want to go across, maybe like you're this point here, you're trying to get to this point here, and the natural thing for you to do is just to do that. But no, the roads are built in such a way that you have to go all the way down and all the way around, and there's a lot of roads like that. And also with the influx of tourism, so many people on the island, it wasn't really originally built to have so many people. So there's not a lot of complex roads. A lot of the time, one road is leading to somewhere. You don't have a lot of like shortcuts and stuff like that. And there is a litany of like motorcyclists, Okada is plenty in Bali. I remember once, I think we were trying to go 2 miles. It was less than 3 miles, maybe it was less than 3 kilometers. And Google Maps was saying 20 something minutes. And I'm like, Ineka, I can run that in that time. Number 15 is to haggle. There's only like 2 or 3 things you can't bargain with, or bargain for, or bargain about. I don't know. Obviously, don't bargain in a restaurant, you look like an idiot. Don't bargain at hotels, again, you look like an idiot. Otherwise, you can bargain anything. Anything. Markets, food, the roadside, a lot of stuff is bargainable, especially if they're selling you stuff like these bracelets I bargained when I was in Gili Tea. A lot of tourist stuff is inflated. If you're going to any market, if you're trying to get any souvenir, trust me, they've inflated the price and they're expecting you to bargain. That is the culture. Everybody haggles, haggle, get a good price. Haggle with your chest. Number 16 is that there are mosquitoes in abundance. There are a lot of mosquitoes. However, I think for the most part of my stay, I was pretty okay. It was only towards the end, and I think that was because our room was left open by the hotel staff. When we arrived, the doors were already open, so I think they were having a field day and there wasn't much else we could do. But just be prepared. Like I said, bring your mosquito sprays, your mosquito repellents and stuff. And sometimes if you ask the villa or the accommodation to spray your room, they will do that for you. 17, there is no dress code really. It's not a super conservative place. So many tourists abound, especially in like the beachy areas. You will see people in like bikinis, in thongs, in all sorts. It's giving, you know, Malibu vibes. Some people wear cover-ups, some people don't bother. Walking down the street, people wear shorts, like bikini bras. It's very normal, especially like if you're close to the coast or the beach or whatever. What I will say is that if you're going to a temple, you will be required to cover up a bit, especially your arms and I think your head. I didn't go to any temples, but I know you definitely have to cover your shoulders and your arms if you're going to any temples. But generally, it is, you know, pretty chill. That being said, point number 18 is to be mindful of their offerings. It is quite a religious place. Although they're not like particular about your dress code, they do have a lot of offerings and they'll just be on the floor in different places. Be mindful that you don't step on them. Be mindful that you do not ride over them if you're riding a bike or a motorcycle or something. Be mindful of the culture and the religion. Don't step on the offerings. 19, we are nearly there. There are strays everywhere. In Gili Tea, there were stray cats everywhere you looked. On Bali mainland, there were dogs, so many stray dogs. I did feel a little bit uneasy on 1 or 2 occasions with the stray dogs because they just started barking out of nowhere and coming towards us, and I'm not trying to get rabies, but nothing happened. They are very fun-loving with animals. If you're afraid of cats and dogs, Gili Tea full of cats, Bali full of dogs and cats as well. But just, yeah, prepare yourself. Last but not least, especially to my black travelers, whether you're a solo traveler or you're traveling in a group or with your partner or whoever, I would really encourage you to join the WhatsApp group called Black in Bali. They have a page on Instagram and every month they open a new WhatsApp group and loads of people from all over the world join it. And they link up and they tell you what's hot, what's not. People can be like, oh, I'm going to Kretschmer Beach Club, who's down? And they're posting videos. It's really a vibe. I say all of this, but I actually, unfortunately, didn't get to meet up with anyone because the way I had designed our itinerary, we missed a lot of the events that they had on. But yeah, they have like Afrobeats nights. They will have events where maybe somebody wants to rent like an expensive boat or yacht or whatever and, you know, split the cost by having more people on. It's very, very nice and community based, and they've got like subgroups as well. So even if you live in Bali, there's a subgroup for like people who need to get their visa renewed or people looking for a driver or mums who are looking for other mums, because people live in Bali, black people live in Bali. They have lots of like smaller groups for specific stuff, and then there's like a wider group where people just vibe. It was so lit. I'm really disappointed that I didn't get to actually meet the guys, but in the run up to my trip, I did ask them a lot of questions. Like, I'll just throw things out on the group chat, because some people are already in Bali at the point. Some people are planning to come to Bali, so it's like, oh, I want to get a driver. How much should this cost roughly? Or I want to get a SIM card. Is it worth the money, or should I just use a Wi-Fi? I want to go here. What are the hotspots? Like, it was a fantastic forum, and it definitely served me very well. They obviously haven't sponsored this or anything, but I just thought it was important to shout them out, because when I discovered it on TikTok, as I do, I was like, Black in Bali, wow. And then I went on their page, I went on their website, joined the WhatsApp group, super excited, but as the Lord would have it, my itinerary didn't really match up, so I couldn't go to their events and stuff. But they were super responsive, really funny, and you know what Black people like when they get together. It's a good time. I saw +44 numbers, so UK numbers, American numbers, Canadian numbers, numbers from people in Nigeria. It is a global community, and if you are traveling alone or with people and you just want to link up and have a good time, I would highly recommend joining the Black in Bali WhatsApp group. So, girls and boys, that brings us to the end of this video. I have given you 20 tips, tricks, need to knows about coming to Bali. I hope it has been useful. I would love it if you could stick around and subscribe. If you have made it to this point in the video, I would really love it if you could drop me a flag of Indonesia. If you don't know what it looks like, go into the flag sections of your emoji and just start typing Indonesia. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. See you in my next one. Love you. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Bye.